Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up.
Look, straight from the mud like Ruby. Straight to the stage, they love me. I understand they hungry, but please don't hate, that's ugly. I've been sliding, shaking, moving. I've been popping in my city. Shawty say she love the way we do it with me. I be too turned up to ever give a fuck. I ain't come to argue, let a nigga fuck. They been talking pennies, I need bigger bucks. About to catch a flight, I need to switch it up. Got that black boy joy, might do my dance on him. Take no disrespect, might put my hands on him. Hit this chicken, now she wanna marry me. But she gon' need some closure and some therapy. Came back to the city with my bank account on F. Giving rappers hell, I know they happy that I left. Hit the south in winter, I just put down my deposit. 82 degrees, I left that jacket in my closet.
Feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up.
Hey, look, came in with the what's that? Left out with the who she. Laying game like 2D, I been kicking shit like Bruce Lee. Margarita to the brim tip, black denim need a slim fit. Same people that I flex with be the ones that I'm in the gym with. I'm a living legend, you a dead cause, and I'm dead ass. No, I'm dead, right? Leaving early, but I'm early night. Long and short to keep the head right. Teed up out in Malibu, got sand all in my good shoes. Press a nigga with the pessimism, but I only came for the good news. I am the show that they came for, hitting the target I aim for. We been discussing the contract, just telling they get what they paid for. I am not fucking with poverty, really it started to bother me. I need the yacht with the property, they come with the view that you gotta see. Came up from the basement, hit the rooftop with a passion. Bad bitch with some good credit and a good sense for the fashion. Dope blowing with the left hand, ass gripping with the right hand. Uber share to the airport, I'ma hit you back when my flight
I'm
land.
in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up. Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, listen, I just got off the Security Boss. Shout out to Security Boss. Just got off her show, man. I had a great conversation. The conversation got a little crazy at the end, but I'm here, guys, for this reaction on tonight. We're about to have a hell of a reaction tonight to this video. I know we've been doing a lot of funny videos, and so, but tonight, this one is going to be a little serious. I hope you guys are ready for what I'm going to bring to you guys on tonight. I saw a little bit of it. I didn't want to watch the entire thing because I didn't want it to damper my reaction. So I only watched a few seconds of it, like a little clip of it. So I definitely want to make sure I get the reaction with you guys. Real quick, guys, while we're waiting here, guys, please. Thank you, Gregory Scotland. He said, hey, Black Man, how do you keep a straight face? Man, I just had this conversation a few minutes ago, man. Please, guys, go back and watch that after this show on Security Boss. But guys, again, thank you for being here. Do me a favor, go ahead and invite a couple of people over to see this reaction, because I definitely want to get a lot of people involved on this one. This was going to be pretty serious. So I definitely want to do that. While we prepare for the video, you guys, go ahead and, like I said, tell somebody. Thank you guys for being here. When you come in, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please get in those comments and tell us what you think about the channel. Tell us what you think about the subject tonight. Tell us what you think overall. We're going to go through this video. I think I'm going to go through the video uninterrupted. I think I want to watch it all the way through first, and then get everybody's and then we could go back and dissect it and pause it as we go through. And so we'll definitely watch it all the way through and get everybody's reaction while we're watching it all the way through. And I have some panelists here tonight that's really going to help me deliver this deliver this to you guys tonight. So I appreciate all of you. I just got fresh off for Security Boss, so I'm still getting everything prepared for you guys. But while you guys go ahead and invite 2 or 3 people in here right now, and so we can go ahead and get this show started. We will get the show started in about, let's see here, I see the countdown here. Yeah, in 3 minutes I'm going to bring the panel up and we'll be ready to play the video. But until then, enjoy the music and go ahead and invite somebody over. All right, go ahead and invite somebody over. Everybody in the back, you can go use the bathroom or go and get you something to drink. We should be ready to go in 3 minutes. Enjoy the music till I get back, ladies and gentlemen. And again, thank you guys for being here.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should ride on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all up. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love. I've been feeling like a man lately. Can't nobody do it like I can. Daily, fattest in the lattice in the land. Body turn your nigga to a fanny up, fanny up. I made it where I'm at on my own. Had a couple blocks in the road, but I get to the bag on the low. I be counting stacks while they grow, yeah, you know me. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I come in town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all up. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being here. We're ready to rock and roll tonight. Hey, listen, I got a few people here. We don't really bust out 10 here, but I did invite some people over to do this reaction with me. So again, thank you guys for being here. I see the number. Let's see here. Let's look at our likes here. Let's get those likes up. Let's see here. Thank you, Mandrell, for letting everybody know we're about to get started. I appreciate you, big brother. Appreciate you. All right, thank you, Ken. Let's get to the sanctuary over here. Thank you so much, Jenny, for being here. You are amazing. You know you are one of the best moderators this side of heaven. Princess A, thank you for being here. Von Bryan, greetings, peace, and joy, and prosperity. Greg Scotland is in the building. That's my guy right there. Mandrell is here in the back, guys. He'll be up in a second. Let's see here. The world class Noel is in the building tonight. Thank you for being here, Noble. I appreciate you, my guy. Lady Navoa, come on. She's another great moderator, and she keeps that chat going. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Let's see. No Captivity with Freezy is in the building tonight, guys. He's in the back as well to help me with this tonight. Let's see here. All right, that's what we got in the chat tonight. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you share this. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I appreciate you guys. You know I appreciate you more than anything. And thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the back. We have some people in the back here tonight. All right, I want to first bring up, well, you know, listen, I gotta say her name, Queen Smiley. She said, greetings, kings and queens. She's in the building tonight. Let me go ahead and start with the lady of the hour that's going to be with us tonight on this panel. All right, let's see. We got Queen Smiley in the building tonight. Looking as fabulous as ever with that cap on and that pretty white smile. She should do a damn Toothpaste commercial. All right, ladies and gentlemen, none other than my little brother from another mother. Let's give it up for Mandrell. He's in the building tonight.
I'm older than you, though.
What you mean?
You said you call me your little brother. I'm older than you.
Yeah, because you're shorter than me. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take some time to do this.
Hey, Queen Smiley.
Okay, I'm back. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
How about Queen Smiley? I'm not going to lie. You're killing it with that smile.
Hold on. Let me move out the way. Hold on. Let me get my ass.
Killing it with that smile.
Thank you so much. Hey, Jenny. Chat. Always a blessing to be with you guys.
You got to be a special kind of beautiful to be dressed down and still look that good.
Thank you, Mandrell. I appreciate it.
Just compliments. Don't mean any harm.
No harm, no foul. You pitch and woo, black man. You pitch and woo.
It's his fault. He put us up here by ourselves.
But no.
Yes, man, that was a nice little exchange. I like that. There's nothing like positivity with a beautiful black woman and a half-decent black man. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Mandrell is my guy, guys. Mandrell is my guy, man. He knows
the nerve of you. Half decent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and bring up the next person tonight. We have my brother from another mother, man. Hey, listen, I watched your video yesterday again. I watched half of it and I ran into something. I watched it again. We did a shout out to the channel, man. You know, man, we don't do things for the likes. We don't do things for the glory. But we do things because we love you. And so, but again, when you hit that shout out to me and Mandrell in the channel, man, and everybody else, JT, all of us on that video, man, it was heartfelt, brother. And so I just want you to know that I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, before I bring him up, I gotta play his clip because it got famous overnight. Look at Mandrell. No Captivity is in the building tonight, man. What's going on, my guy?
Like, man, how you doing, man? It's a pleasure, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me, man. Mandrell, how you doing?
Man. Absolutely, brother.
Queen Smiley, how you doing, beautiful?
All right.
I'm well, Queen. King, I'm sorry.
All right. So listen, we got JT in the house tonight. What's wrong, Mandrell? Are you all right? You look a little flustered over there. I mean, you see something? You see a rose in a concrete world over there or something? You see? Wait, damn. JT's in the house tonight.
He was cracking up when I was saying he was baking cakes.
This sounds baking cakes.
Baking cake and you caking tonight.
Caking like a
hey, man, I call it.
Tonight.
I call it like I see it, man. Look at
Yeah,
that
I know
over
that's
there.
right. You better call it that, damn it. All right, last but not least, guys, coming in to do a reaction with us for the first time, man. Give it up. He was on with us last Barbershop Talk, and so I want to bring him up. Mr. Charles Cook is in the building tonight. What's going on, Mr. Cook? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. Hey, go ahead and shout out your channel, man, and introduce yourself to the crowd tonight. We're gonna go around the building. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Charles Cook. I am one half of Mindfully Misunderstood on YouTube, where I co-host the show with my brother Cameron. We're pretty new to the YouTube street, but trying to make a presence here, and glad to be here this evening. Oh, and in addition to the fellas, I want to say hello to Queen Smiley this week.
Absolutely.
Good evening, sir.
Mandrell's on point.
All right, man. So, What We Know Podcast, go ahead and shout your channel out as well, brother.
Yes, sir. It's What We Know Podcast with JT and Rob. You can find us going live on Saturday at 9:30. Man, we have a ball on there. We try to talk about issues that is they're very serious, but we have a little comical way of presenting it, man. If y'all didn't check those last videos we had that I just posted this morning, and I just posted another one with your boy Nathan Daly. Oh my God, bro.
Nathan Daly, I didn't see that one.
I just posted it.
All right.
I thought the other two you had me in those.
All right, No Captivity with Freezy, man. Go ahead and shout your channel out, brother, and tell everybody who you are, man.
Yeah, thanks, Black Man. I'm No Captivity with Freezy, and that's the name of my channel, No Captivity with Freezy. I really most of what I do is I do reaction videos, and I react to different events across the web that mostly concerning our community or whatnot. So it's mostly a reactionary channel, but I'm thinking about getting into the live stuff, but it's mostly reactionary. I do good on that reaction stuff. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, brother. All right, man. I appreciate you for being here, man. All right, Mandrell, come on, man. Tell us about your channel and what you got. I mean, your show and what you got going on, my brother.
I don't have a channel. I have a show. Okay. Wednesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Central.
You're so petty.
On the Black Man Unfiltered network. And yeah, it's dope. It's called Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. Shushu is my sister, my youngest sister. She co-hosts with me on my show. So it's about real topics, real issues, and we try to educate people on these things, but hard to get people to listen.
And might I say, brother, you look very studious in those glasses.
Yes. It's kind sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, with another person with glasses on. Well, these yellow skin people showing out tonight. Queen Smiley, how are you tonight, beautiful? I
am doing well, King.
Hold on, wait a minute. Listen, this should be a reaction by itself. I mean, go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
I am Queen Smiley _rules. You can find me right here on the Black Man Unfiltered network. You'll find me sometimes on Tuesdays, definitely on Mondays for these reaction videos, and anything else I can jump in when I ain't tending to the fam.
Absolutely, man. Guys, give it up. Damn. Ain't this woman beautiful? Come on, man. Give it up. All right, man. Thank you for being here, Queen Smile. I really, really appreciate you for being here tonight.
Anytime.
All right, guys. And now we got Hink in the building. Hink, come on, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Let them know where they can find you, my guy.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? Man, you can find me at LaPifin on Sundays, baby, at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. You can also find me on Instagram, baby, at Meat75, baby. All
right. I got everybody. So listen, guys, tonight, man, normally we have a laugh and having a good time, but tonight, man, I really, really want to share this with you guys, man. We're going to watch it all the way through, and then we'll go back and dissect it. All right. I'm going to bring all you guys down because I want everybody to see your reactions, but we'll watch it all the way through and we'll go back and dissect the entire thing. So if you want to take notes or you want to get a timestamp or whatever you want to do, please be sure to do that. But we definitely got to tackle this one. All right, let me pull it up. Give me just a second, guys. This is gonna be ridiculous, but we got to do what we got to do. All right, let's see.
Why every time we see Mandrell, he eats some shit?
Man, always, brother.
I was thinking that same thing.
Always.
I'm just glad his mic muted. You hear him smacking and everything.
Always. Always.
I'm
eating,
like, bro. Don't let him mix a smoothie.
Listen,
Oh.
I haven't eaten since I keep my mouth shut because I don't want to get in trouble. But anyway, it's been a while. I'm hungry. Fuck your mother. Right?
Damn.
All of you.
I think I know who that was shooting at.
Your ass, but I will whoop your
I'm hungry, man. Hey, Charles, it's one of them nights, man. You don't care what nobody's saying. You hungry, bro.
Man, that's my boy, man. That dude's stupid.
Yeah, man. You don't care what nobody said at this point. You hungry.
Man, it's crazy, bro. What you eating, though? Tell me about what you eat, man. Maybe something healthy somebody else want to try.
Yeah, rotisserie chicken and some roasted vegetables.
Okay.
And
sounds
I
good.
got some black beans here, too. So.
Okay,
Black beans is my favorite. Yeah, black beans is my favorite.
I hydrated these and cooked them myself from the dry beans, in the bag.
Yeah,
those and chickpeas.
Yeah.
I cook those myself. You know, I let them soak in water overnight just to get them hydrated and soft. And
well, hold on, man. Who else will cook them if you didn't cook them yourself?
That's true. That's a good job. Yeah. I mean, well, the only person I can think of,
there.
I mean, only person. Yeah, I mean, it's
who couldn't cook them if you couldn't cook them yourself.
Oh, Queen Smiley, would you be willing to cook me dinner?
Right.
Queen Smiley.
I'm telling you right now, I ain't cooking nobody no black beans. Not just no plain old black beans.
What would you cook me then?
I have not reaction video time. Can we get to the
Okay. So guys, this is the reaction video. I had to doctor it up and throw all kind of stuff on it so I wouldn't get cut up. But anyway, take that ding. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start the video. We'll watch it all the way through, and then we'll go back and dissect it. All right, here we go.
I'm not drunk. I haven't had anything to drink. I haven't had anything to. No, you can give me bring your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer. Ah! Bring out your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer. Ah! Get out of me! Get out of me!
Where are you walk?
Get out of me! I ain't broke no law. I ain't broke no law. Get out of me! I bet you I hate myself as soon as I get enough. I bet you I hate myself as soon as I get enough. And I don't care. It's more than one way to kill yourself. I know what you told me. It's more than one way to kill yourself. Yeah.
Ronnie, get up here.
No. You better knock me out. And I got a flare I sting in my heart.
Come on, bro.
No, where my brother?
I'm not gonna get over.
Take me. You can take me. You can take me. I don't care. 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 I don't care.
Put up a picture. I have more video. I want to remind you that this was a 911 call for a mental health emergency. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. From parents that called the police, they were hoping that she would receive medical attention, not be arrested. They simply wanted her to have a healthy opportunity to heal. That's it. They never wanted her to go to jail. They never reported a criminal incident. They reported a mental health issue. And everyone responded but a mental health professional. She was found alongside the road where officers attempted to wake her. Here's that video.
Hell yeah. Run. Run. That shit, I'm out by myself. You won't call that one.
She's still breathing. Go ahead.
Tell you something, go.
She getting up. She all right. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Go ahead and sit up. Pick the cuss off. Sit her up. Sit up. Sit up, Brianna. You all right? You got some water?
No, hell no.
Hey, she jump out the car. Don't supposed to be unlocked in the back.
Shit, ain't
We
supposed
just
to.
do a report. She fine. Yeah, she fine. She can see my finger. She just got on what's called. How your back door? But that's we write the report and just say, you know, like you said, you got it. Back door. We want trust, you know. But we good. Brianna, come on, this Deputy Prime. Come on.
I ain't got nothing to call no water. No.
Don't worry about it. She fine. Oh, I got that. Hold it right here. Hold it right here. I got it. I just give it to you.
These sick SOBs are already coming up with their cover story. They are insensitive to the reality of her mental health condition. They never should have been the ones responding to this in the first damn place. She gets airlifted to Grady Hospital, which is miles away from Sparta, Georgia. She's dead. Questions still loom. We saw a woman going through a mental health crisis, handcuffed, being thrown into a police car by insensitive, negligent deputies. So all of a sudden, back doors of police cars are allowed to be opened from the back seat. Did you provide a setting change that allowed this to happen? Did you not close the door when you took off intentionally? I have questions. Why is she dead? Put up a picture again. Why does she look like this days later? The video released by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation comes days after the agency found that police did not close the car door that Brianna Greer, 28 years of age, fell from while in handcuffs. You do understand that once she was arrested, she was then in the care of that deputy, in the care of that sheriff's office. There's more. The footage released by the GBI shows Greer yelling at the officers arresting her, insisting she is not drunk and saying, "I ain't broke no law and get off me." You see, if I don't hang myself when I get in there, she said, while cops, one of whom had activated his stun gun, took her into custody. According to the GBI investigation, cops then opened the rear doors of the car to put Greer, a mother of two, in the back seat. The deputies closed the rear driver's side door. The investigation shows that the deputy thought he closed the rear passenger side door. The report says the police did not put her seatbelt on. The investigation revealed they had multiple violations dealing with an individual who was already going through a severe mental health crisis, and they did not give a damn. Her life wasn't valuable. Hell, when she was basically on the side of the road dead, they're figuring out how to cover their asses. The GBI said the deputies left the scene and drove a short distance, during which Greer must have fallen out of the car. Agents have concluded that the rear passenger side of the patrol car, near where Greer was sitting, was never closed. The GBI statement said officers found Greer face down on the side of the road, non-responsive. This investigation remains open to this very moment. We brought you this on day one. We said on day one, none of this adds up. The elected sheriff went to the grandparents and informed them that their granddaughter was being airlifted to the hospital because they called 911 trying to get their baby help. They wanted their child to be helped. And now they have to deal with the guilt of knowing that that 911 call led to the death of their baby. Now 2 children have no mother.
Yeah. Who called 911, Black Man?
Her grandmother,
That is their fault.
Yeah, no, the grandmother called the ambulance, but
Yeah, that is their fault.
No.
Nope. You don't call 911.
Who you call?
Nobody. You handle that shit yourself. Or you wait until the morning and you take the kid to the hospital.
You call family.
You don't call 911.
She was having a.
That ain't her first one. You dealt with all the rest of them. Deal with this one. Take that baby to the hospital.
Call family
doctor in the morning.
Yep.
Right.
You call family.
You don't call 911.
Okay. So how do you feel about the cops?
That fuck cops door wasn't open.
Right.
Stop it.
You can't even do it from the inside.
Right. You can't even open the door from the inside.
She was cuffed.
Right. And you can't open the door from the inside in the back seat of a cop car.
Right. They said she jumped out.
How?
Right.
How? Oh, it happens. No, it doesn't. You come up with all kinds of excuses, you stupid cops. See, this is why I don't like cops. You insult my intellect and you do fucked up shit to people and you get away with it.
And wasn't that what I'm saying?
What are your thoughts, Mr. Cook?
Wasn't there a brother in there that the second half of that video?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The black cops worse than the white ones.
I just wanted to make sure. I know he was fairly light skinned.
Yeah. That's true. The black cops worse than the white ones.
You know, there's first of all, having had experience with mental health in my family, Mandrell is exactly right. Because you don't necessarily have to call 911. They have 24-hour receiving behavioral health hospitals. Now, I don't know if maybe her family didn't have the means. I don't know to take her there. But at the end of the day, we all know that there is no such thing as a good cop, and cops should not be responding to those type of calls anyway. Now, I'm sure you guys heard that saying before. There's no such thing as a good cop. Mm-hmm. Because either you're participating or you're turning a blind eye. For those of you who want to disagree, and it's heartbreaking. This breaks my heart, man.
It gets me, Chuck. They say the kid fell out the car, right? Why are you manipulating her body, sitting her up, turning her over? Why aren't you calling an ambulance? You don't. Okay, she fell out the car, a moving car. I'm assuming you're going pretty fast because wasn't shit else out on the road. Nah, come on, man. They fucked up so many times. He pulls out a taser. She says, "I got a stent in my heart," or a heart murmur, or something like that. Okay, that means now that you know that, you can't tase her because she dies. That's your ass.
Yep.
I mean, even if she's lying about it, you can't run that risk. Like the cops made so many mistakes in this scenario. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's wrong in this situation. And now that poor girl's dead because of it. Shout out to Bolo TV.
I know this is probably another conversation, but I can't help but to look at the chat and people are alarmed that I would say that there's no such thing as a good cop.
There is.
Read the articles about cops who really tried to be good cops and see what happened to them.
And see what happens to them.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you want to keep your job, you're probably gonna need to shut the fuck up. That's pretty much how that culture goes. You want to keep your job, shut the fuck up. Otherwise, you try to blow the whistle, and we'll blow your head off.
Look what happened to that police chief, that first female police chief, right? I forget which precinct it is, but she got fired, but because her subordinates refused to follow her orders. Like she said it was so bad for her, she had to unsheath and chamber her weapon when she went out to walk to her car every night.
Yeah,
she had to walk with her gun chambered and in her hand while walking to her car away from work when she left work.
Yeah.
So that's because she came in and started doing things the right way. Cricket cops got fired. Other people that there were no evidence against, she launched full-blown investigations, turned them over to the feds, the whole 9 yards. She was cleaning house.
Yeah, the young lady was 28 years old, guys, in the chat who wanted to know who how old the young lady was. But Mandrell is right, because I saw one.
They fired her for doing the right thing.
Right.
Chuck, so you're right.
I saw
good cops do the right thing.
Right. I also saw a little small town where the first black female mayor of the town, and when she got elected as mayor, she was the first black one, right? The entire police department quit for that city. All of them. They only had 2 black officers anyway, but all of them quit at the same time because they elected her. They said, we will not be under her authority. Now the city has no police officers. That's crazy.
They I'm sure they knew that they wouldn't be able to get away with their devilishment.
Right.
Yeah. But not to get too far off the subject. With the unfortunate.
No, Jenny. Jenny, go ahead and do your comments, baby. Come on now. You can put your comments in there. Now, I want to get everybody else's thoughts first. Hold on just a second, Charles. Hank,
go ahead. Okay,
what are your thoughts, Hank?
Well, I don't know what to say, man. It's
just put yourself. If it were your baby, what would be your thoughts?
First of all, I wouldn't have called the police officers.
Right.
First of all, I wouldn't have dialed 911. And the thing is, when they did call 911, did they let the dispatch officer know that she's got some mental issues?
Yeah, that's what they told him. That's what he said in the interview. He said, report here. They called and said, my daughter is having a mental episode. I need you guys to bring the ambulance or whatever to come help my baby. And the police got there first, and that's what happened.
And this was her grandmother.
Yeah, her grandmother.
So we know what that's about.
Okay, well, where was her parents at? Why was she with her grandmother?
I have no idea.
Right, that's what I was saying. The dynamic.
I'm sure she's way too old to handle a situation like that.
Exactly.
I hate that we put a lot of parents put elderlies in that type of situation where they have to handle young kids.
Right.
Or teenage boys.
Yeah, because she got 2 kids. She got 2 kids, so the grandmother had the 2 kids. The grandmother and the grandfather had the 2 kids too. Yeah.
Where was her husband? Or her man, or baby's daddy? He wasn't around. I guess he wasn't nowhere to be found. The parents, where was they at? Why couldn't she be with the parents? It makes a whole lot of questions. But this grandmother was probably way overwhelmed. I'm sure. You got a young woman who has mental issues. Then you got her 2 kids. More than likely, one of them may have mental issues. It's hereditary, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. So now you got all of this put on this elderly lady. What was the first thing she gonna do? She probably panicked and did the first thing she thought to do. Okay, let me call and get her some help. She thought she was doing the right thing. Unfortunately, it was traumatic.
So do you think it's? I want to get everybody's thoughts first, then I ask the question. No captivity. What are your thoughts, man?
I think everybody making good points. One thing about situations like this, which is very tragic, hindsight is 20/20, man. And I know incidences, or especially dealing with mentally ill patients. a lot of times 911 they do come on the scene depending on how hostile the person is, you know. But I agree that special precautions should have been taken. Mandrell made a good point. Hank made a good point. What stuck out to me in the video was that obviously this young lady knew the cops very well, because she said that they've told her in prior events that, hey, there's many ways to kill yourself. So
Right.
they have a rapport with this young lady, and obviously it was out of frustration. So that let me know it was foul play. When after they put her in the car, it was foul play. And you know, when I was watching that video, I just can't express how disappointed and how angry I was seeing that, man. That was very disturbing. And what was more disturbing is it was our own kind. That always F's me up. That makes me more angry than when I see white cops. And I know what Mandrell is saying. They can be worse than white, because it never fails. It just burns me up when I see shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is, we need special laws for cops, man. We do. We need special category laws for cops, and just for them. Somebody needs to we need police for the police, because it's just crazy.
We have police for the police. That's supposed to be us.
Well, I'm just saying,
we are not the ones. You got to remember, the police themselves are supposed to be peace officers, and they're supposed to help uphold the laws. We as citizens are the main body of the government. We have to be able to govern our community. And since we don't govern our community, you can't expect police officers to be 100% moral.
What I'm saying, we don't have authority. We don't have more authority than they do.
Hey, Freeze, you talking about like a overseer board?
Yes, we don't have more authority than the cops. That's what I'm saying.
I know. Now look, I know here in Louisville, we do have that now. And that's due to what happened with the Breonna Taylor situation.
It's called an ombudsman.
We've been trying to push that for a long time, even before the situation with Breonna Taylor. But you know, it always fall through. But they now have one here in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's awesome.
I know other cities and states, they probably should implement what you're talking about for sure.
For real, man.
But it'll be a big fail if you don't have a community where you have the majority of people govern themselves still. It'll still be a big fail. You can do all of that, have these commissions and all these different types of governments, but if you don't have a community, which I'm gonna always uphold, that it is the responsibility of us. We are the bigger government. We have to understand that. So when you have a community that's unruly, how do you expect the police officers to be moral?
But when we have that type of talk, though, TJ, see, this is why I don't. That type of talk kind of
hold that thought real quick, because I want to get the Queen in real quick, and then we'll get back to y'all. Just a second, Queen Smiley, what are your thoughts about the video and what transpired?
It's tragic. It's tragic, disheartening. It's hurtful. It's shameful, especially when you see we as a people participating in stuff like that. Part of me agree with the fact that, you know, there's no such thing as a good cop, but then there are times where some individuals get it right. And I know this from a personal, very personal incident that happened with me and my son, in which I had to call 911 myself. I don't have any family out here in Texas. So it's me and my kids pretty much. Come on, black man. You know, we as a people, we try to keep stuff, you know, where it needs to be. But these are the conversations that we need to have out loud, because I see people in the chat who don't want to share, but I'll share. I ain't gonna give y'all my business, but I'll share. But I had to call. So my son, he's 18 now. Before he turned 18, he was diagnosed bipolar. And, you know, I would take care of my business here at home. I would call his dad when we would have episodes and him acting out or him lashing out or him doing this thing. And it got to a point where I had to physically lay hands on him. I mean, box him out. I'm a petite female, but I ain't that little. Okay. So yeah, I had to lay hands on my son. Not the proudest moment as a mother, but it happened. And so the second time I had to do it, I was like, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. And so he said, I was getting on to him about something. It was petty. And he and his sister started arguing. And I said, okay, if y'all fight, y'all both getting out because I'm calling the police on both of you. Okay. So y'all either go to y'all corners, do what y'all do, because y'all ain't finna tear my junk up. Right. So he went on to his room and he has this habit of throwing stuff, tearing stuff up, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, bro, not tonight. You ain't breaking shit else up in here tonight. And he told me to shut the fuck up. And at that moment, I wanted to act a complete ass and come out my body. And I just took a deep breath. I said, you know what? That's it. And so when I called 911, I had a very good conversation with the dispatcher and I explained the situation because I had him committed before. This was the second time I planned on getting him committed. And so instead of me going to find that 24-hour facility, because I've had to do that before, I said, you know what? I'm going to need him committed tonight. Okay. So I'm going to need y'all to do y'all part. Okay. And I'm going to need y'all to get him signed in. And I'm going to need y'all to do this on your own. Okay. So this is what I need y'all to do. And after having that conversation with the dispatch, I got to shout out Dallas PD because they ain't shit most days. But they actually sent two females. They sent two females to my house to give a little compassion to the situation because they heard what was going on. So I appreciate them for that. So they was pretty much able to handle the situation without it escalating to something else. And my son still cut up. And y'all right, ain't no damn handles in the back seat because this little Negro took his arms behind his back and pulled his hands in front, you know, trying to get out and everything else. He was cutting up real bad. Had they sent men to my house, and I couldn't do them, but thank God that night, had they sent men to my house, my son would probably be dead because they wouldn't have gave him any compassion at all. So shit happens, different strokes for different folks. Every time we get on these panels, everybody stands so strong in what they feel because of their personal experiences. But I need everybody to understand shit happens. Shit happen differently for different people. Every situation ain't gonna be the same. Tragically, this situation ended like this, and so many end in this situation. But there are times where we can get it right. You know, in communication, I always say communication is key. Prayer is key because I always keep my children covered in prayer. Regardless of how bad they doing in life, how good they doing, and how well, I keep them covered in prayer. And it wasn't nothing but the grace of God. He's still alive and well. After they let him out of the facility this time, I'm like, all right, daddy, you know, it's your turn. And for y'all get to asking me all them daddy questions, single mamas can't raise children. I tried my best not to. I sent him to live with his dad twice, and his dad sent him back to me twice. But this time I was like, you know what? You picking him up, you know? You picking him up this time. And he did pick him up. So he's in Louisiana now. He's okay. He's still pissed off at me because of the situation, but I'm grateful that he's alive. I'm grateful I did what I needed to do because I still have other children to live for. So I can't afford to beat his ass and go to jail. And then what? You know, my family rests on my shoulders. So I just had to make that move. So keep that shit in mind though. Different strokes for different folks. You know?
Yeah. I mean, do you, and so let me ask, anybody else have any stories they want to, that anybody can relate to what Queen Smiley just said about that situation?
That's why I had to go get my wine. I had to drink to this night. I don't know where the hell you get this video from, Black Man.
I had an aunt, and she was schizophrenic and bipolar, and all her life. And rest in peace to my aunt. She just passed away due to COVID.
Sorry to hear that.
But sorry to hear that. I appreciate it. But all her life, she had this. We seen it. The family seen, you know, how it was like she was just really, really messed up in the head. She always argued. She was 1 minute she's happy. She was the most lovable person. But then there's another part of her where, especially because she used to drink, she didn't drink heavily, but when she did, I mean, it didn't take a lot because she was taking medicine and everything like that. She'd go from laughing to crying. Like she was very emotional. Yeah. And we knew as a family that she definitely needed to get help. I don't know what my grandmother had did when she was a teenager, but I know when she got older, she ended up checking herself into a mental facility, and she ended up having a son, which I don't know if anybody know anything about the Job Corps up here in the West. I mean, mid.
Well, there's
But
Job Corps
man,
Job Corps down here in the South too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But it's not a really a good thing for people to go to when they drop out of school, because a lot of them get hooked on a lot of stuff, man. They get hooked on drugs and stuff like that. And I've heard story after story of somebody been slipped a Mickey, and that's what happened with her son, my cousin. And he wasn't right ever since that time. And so he was in a mental facility almost all his adult life. My aunt, she was in and out, but that's probably why her life was spared, because she always had a gun. She always was threatening somebody with a gun. My father, he was right up under her, and my father couldn't deal with her, and that was like his favorite sister out of 9 sisters he had. That was his favorite sister when he was growing up. But when they got older, she was still doing childish things. And my father, he was just fed up until, my mother was just like, no, it's something wrong with her. And we can't, she was going to jail. She messed around and she was dating a guy, and he robbed her and ran her over in her own car, took her car and everything. And we was just like, wow. I mean, she had a wild life, but it all contribute to her mental illness. Right. And it just took to the point where she got older, and then she ended up being a lot more, got sick and stuff like that. So she couldn't do all the things that she was doing when she was younger. But that thing that I seen with that young lady that happened, that was not the right people to handle her.
Right.
That was absolutely not the right person to handle her. And her grandmother definitely wasn't the one that should have been taking on her and her family. And this was when we have to say, hey, where the rest of the family at? Where's the rest of the community at? We can sit back and say, like I said, when we start talking about these issues, man, we have to look at the community itself. And it starts with the family, the smaller portion of that community. We can't keep leaving it up to strangers, and especially from one year to the next year to the next year, somebody's getting killed or mishandled by a police officer. We already understand that you can't have police officers dealing with folks this way. You got to revamp that police station. But how do you do it? It's not that you got to do it. It's how do you do it? And it starts with the community, because in a minute, there's nobody going to be police officers. You're not going to have people growing up being police officers. Is that what we really want? Do we want to have a community that is not with authority? Because this is where we're going at right now. So how do we deal with it? You start with the community first and watch how it changes.
Now, let me say this real quick, guys. So even in Dallas, right? There's a church here in Dallas that I went to, and there's officers everywhere. And then they had small groups at Friendship West. Queen Smiley, Friendship West Baptist Church. So they had and officers, and they were taught. And somebody said something a few minutes ago that rang true. I remember one of the officers said that he was so stressed out in this small group. He said, I was so stressed out because I'm trying to do good in the community, but they partner with me with somebody that's been on the police force for 17 years. That's a damn crook, stealing money, taking drugs from people, like all kind of stupid, dumb shit. And he said one day he stopped the officer from robbing somebody or trying to, manhandle somebody. And the dude said, you must don't want to, it's either two things you got to deal with, sir. You must don't want to live long, or you must don't want to work here long. He said, you got to play along to get along, brother. He said, don't stop me. Don't touch me. Don't say nothing to me. I'm your superior. If you want to stay a police officer, we can come up with some shit to get you out of here. Whether grave or whether fired. He said, it's enough of us. It ain't enough for you. So stop. He said, so stop trying to be the goddamn hero. And he said,
training day.
Yeah.
That's what training day was about.
Right. He said, stresses him to sit in that police car watching them do illegal shit. And he ain't nothing he can do about it because he don't want to lose his pension or he don't want to lose his job. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I can't go save nobody. They're going to come up against me. So I mean, I do agree that most cops, I ain't gonna say all of them are bad, but some of them are under the fist, the iron fist of some of these cops that say you open your mouth, you done. Right? Does that still make them bad? I want to ask that to the panel. Does that still make an officer bad? If he's under the iron fist of another officer saying, hey, listen, you better not open your damn mouth. Charles, we'll let you go first. What do you feel about it?
Thank you. I'm honored. Because, well, first and foremost, is not an attack on the individual themselves, because that person may really want to do right.
Right.
But however, we all know that if the person attempts to do right, then wrong is going to be dealt to them in one way or another. All I'm saying is, if you want to continue to occupy that position, you either have to participate or turn a blind eye. Now, I have relatives who are police officers, and I know that as long as they're employed by that department, they're turning a blind eye to something. So I say, I'm not saying that the person is bad, but right. As long as they're a cop, they're not a good cop if you're turning a blind eye. Here's the thing. If you're in a car with someone who decides that they're going to do a drive-by on somebody, right, and pull off, right? If right. You don't say anything, if you're going to rat that person out, you're complicit. You as far as the law is concerned, you should have just squeezed the trigger your goddamn self. You're complicit. And so the other thing is that a lot of these police officers, there was a what do you call that? Social experiment where this guy was going around to try to see how well police officers knew the law, because they're supposed to uphold the law, correct? So they should at least know the law. And it was alarming to know how many police officers didn't really know the law. So what ends up happening, right? In a lot of situations, cops don't uphold the law, they become the law in their mind. And they think just because I said it, never mind what's on the books, I said it and you should abide by this. And then we get the ego that gets in the way and all that. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had brushes with the law that went pleasant, even as a knucklehead teenager. And I would say I probably deserve more than the smack or the knock upside the head that I got. I thank God that they didn't kill me, but they let me go. And I would say, considering the circumstances, hey, that was probably positive. Knocked me upside my head. I was being a knucklehead. Hell, no harm, no foul. I get to live another day. But there are a lot of incidents to whereas cops just don't want to let it go, and they bring rage from home. They ain't getting no pussy or dick or whatever they're looking for, right? All kinds of problems outside of, and they bring them to work and they take them out on people who don't deserve it. And I noticed, so like I guess they have to go through this training every so often to have them decompress. What my cousin told me, they got to go through this training every now and then to make them like human, I guess, to make them feel, because I'll say this and I'll yield the floor. There's a saying that says absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? And so essentially, when you're in a position where nobody's going to check you, at some point that has the great potential to go to your head. Who's going to check me? I'm king of the world. Even the police who's supposed to be policing me ain't policing me, and they're going to allow me to get away with anything. And I can rob people. Hey, I need a boat. Let me go ahead and snatch some money off this dope boy, or who I perceive to be a dope boy. Whatever. We all know that goes on. And so I don't want to take too much time. I'll yield the floor with that. All I'm saying is, when you turn a blind eye, you are complicit.
Can I get in a black man? Yeah, you on mute.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah, anybody can hop in after and whenever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say this about the cops. You know, they signed up to serve and protect the people. You're brave enough to take a bullet, but you're not brave enough to flip on your raggedy ass partner. That's just, to me, See, it's just some
correction,
bullshit.
correction, Freezy.
They
They're not brave enough to
ain't
take
brave
a
enough to
bullet.
take no dang on bullet.
They're not brave enough to
I'm,
take a
I'm
bullet.
just
School
saying,
shooting that just happened recently.
well, quote unquote, I'm just saying. You feel what I'm saying? But
I don't
this
feel what
is
you're saying. They ain't.
what
They're not. They're not taking bullets for nobody.
yeah, but what I'm saying that this is the image that they portray. You know that
Yeah, it's the
they're
image that they portray. But here's the thing: the jig's up, and everyone knows it. Knows it now. And here's the thing: they don't even have the dignity to lie anymore. It's just like our
right.
politicians. They don't bother lying to you about it anymore, because what are you going to do about it? Who are you? No one's going to do shit. And to Charles Cook, I agree that absolute power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, I
Right.
agree with that. But that works in my experience. That works for most people, not all of us, because like Abraham Lincoln said, and I agree wholeheartedly because I'm one of these people. If you want to get the measure of a man, give him power and see what he does with it. So, like me, I'm a person who never wanted power, never wanted authority, never wanted to be in leadership. Everywhere I go, here they go. Harris, you take care of this. For fuck's sake, dude. Do I have to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always in charge of some shit. They always put responsibility on me everywhere I go. Didn't matter where. I never wanted it. And that's why I was so good at it. I was always fair down the line. Even on these platforms you see me here, I may say some harsh things. I may be hard on people, but I'm fair. And I do my best to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I can do. But it doesn't hit. I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say, don't get disillusioned. There are some people who will do the right thing with power. They might be rare, might be extremely hard to find. But I'm just saying, I'm not all doom and gloom.
No, I wanted to finish
So-
speaking to JT's point about the
Yeah,
community.
But I agree with you, Charles. I agree. Yeah.
If anybody believes in a collective, it's me. Trust me, what you just said is 100% correct. But I just challenge everybody to understand this. Everybody that's dealt with the police on the opposite side of the law wasn't always guilty of something. But they got the bad end of the stick. I was one of them. This is why I say, it's not always, the cops aren't always involved due to somebody's violation or something like that. It's like cops lie too. They lie.
They can lie to you, and they do.
What I'm saying is that this is that program that Hink said that they have where he is. That's awesome. I feel like we do need that nationwide. We do, because it's not just a matter of the black community always doing wrong. Yeah, we do wrong, but let me tell you something. It's a lot of innocent folks that just get caught up by some.
It don't deserve that.
What'd you say, Queen?
Regardless of what we do wrong, it never deserves this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The way we're treated is undeserving.
So dig this. In Detroit, it used to be a point where when you was a cop, and I think they just put this law back in, you have to live in a city that you police.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It used to be that way.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about this whole thing, I'm hearing everybody talking. I hear it on platforms and everything, and everybody throws the police up under the bus. Okay. Motherfuckers be fucked up. But at the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want a better police precinct? Do you want a better community with the police? Do you want us as citizens, as civilians, to be able to be one with the police? How do we do that? Because I'm gonna keep saying it. We're gonna keep keeping the power into how it is right now, or what? Because all we doing is complaining. This is all we doing is complaining. We understand, and I'm always say it. Right now, how do you expect somebody that's actually supposed to be upholding the law in a society that's immoral. The society itself is immoral, and we expect cops to be moral in an immoral doggone situation.
But JT, they
It's
supposed
not,
to be
it's
held
not
to a
going to
higher
work.
standard.
That's what we expect. Yeah.
But this is the thing. They are people just like we are people.
And
all I'm saying is
Yeah.
this. You can't expect them to be moral in an immoral community. If we know the law just as much as they know the law, if there's more of us that know the law just as much as they know the law, we can actually steer them in the right direction. For one, how many people know that cops have a bond? You can sue their bond.
Mm-hmm.
How many people, I'm just saying in as a rhetorical question, how many people in communities that actually knows that? How many of us know the law? Something that we should. We don't get taught in public school about the law. Wouldn't we think that would be something that's more imperative for us to learn, especially in Black communities? The law?
He said, see, JT, you're so stupid. Next, I guess you want us to start teaching.
There you go.
I guess next you want us to start teaching financial literacy in school too, huh?
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
That's a good one.
All the
That's a
things
good
that
one.
help
That's
us as human beings, we should learn instead of us learning this stupid ass econ shit that they
Oh
was
my
doing
gosh.
in 1960.
Oh my God. That was my first year in college.
So shout out to 2 Cents Uncensored. She sent. She's also a member of the channel. Thank you, 2 Cents Uncensored, with a $10 super chat. She says, "Can we look at this as a need for legitimate mental health resources and personnel? Cops sign up to be police. Teachers sign up to teach, but we expect more. What happens when no one chooses to do either?"
Oh, nothing. There'd be no difference. No difference.
Well,
I mean,
And then we also have to consider that both cops and teachers, just like JT was just saying, they're human also. They all have mental health issues themselves that they're not addressing, that they're going into these fields because some of them choose it as an easy road out. You know, a lot of cops with aggression issues, they choose policing because they feel that that's a place that they can freely let go of that aggression and they don't have to suffer the consequences of it. That's why we have situations like this. Oh, my friend, he's an asshole just like me. I'm going to tell him to join the force.
Right.
How many brotherhoods are being built just off that ideology?
Well, I mean, did you see the one? It was one in California, guys. And the black guy got his recorder out and he recorded it. It was a room full of them, and they were talking about how they were going to go out and start hunting niggas. You know,
how that female cop got caught saying
yeah, but 1 second. 2 Cents Uncensored sent another $5 super chat. She said, "You see this message? It's a super chat. All proceeds help Black Man Unfiltered Network bring us this dope content. Try it."
You know what?
I think one of our problems is Black people don't want to admit that we got mental illness.
Do you hear me?
Yeah,
We're the same people that don't want to go to the doctors when we sick.
Come on, Hank.
People, hold on, Mandrell. We're the same people don't want to go to the doctors when we sick. We're the same people who don't advocate for therapy. You know what I'm saying? You say something about going to therapy, they say, "What's wrong with you? You crazy?"
Yeah.
It's not about being crazy. It's about you. You just need, you need to get your mental tuned up. You understand what I'm saying? So we sit there. What'd you say, Mandrell?
Go ahead. But I would say I can speak to that.
So when we talk about some of these things about getting mental health and mental health awareness, we're the last people who even want to invest in anything. We having problems at home getting along with our wives and our girlfriends and the community. We talking about coming as being a better community and not wanting the police involved. No, that ain't what you want. Because some of you Negroes don't know how to act. You act like a goddamn fool and don't call the police. We advocate for trash. We are the people who advocate for trash. We support trash. We encourage trash. We uplift trash. And that's bullshit. So now we do that, and then we don't want the police involved in our situations? No, dog. Now I'm not for these bad cops. I think every bad cop sucks. Do I believe every cop's bad? No, I don't believe that. But I don't like every woman out here ain't no hoe. Or every dude out here ain't no what y'all call Pookie and Ray Rays. So
well, let me ask Mr. Cook and no cap, Freezy. Would you guys advise any of the young folks that's trying to find a career to being a police officer?
Ooh, that's tough.
That's a tricky question right there.
It is. On the one hand, I think what they're going to say is on the one hand, they don't trust them. But on the other hand, there's no way to change it unless you do it from the inside.
I'm saying I wouldn't deter any youth from being a police officer. I think any position you take, any job you take, whatever it is, it can be admirable. It's not. I blame the person. I don't blame the police department. You understand what I'm saying? I don't blame the police department. I blame the person. But if I was a police officer, I'm going to live and move by my morals. I'm not going to let the police department, my partner, dictate, my relationship with the Most High. I'm not going to let them dictate, if I can sleep at night. No, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I would encourage anybody to go in any field they want. If it's admirable or moral, yeah, I would.
But see, when you say that it's not the police station, I have to differ with you, brother, because it's a system. There's nothing that's more effective than a system. It's just like a current. It's just like if you go out there and try to go and swim against, the current in the waves in a lake or in the ocean. That's what a system is. You have to have a system. An individual is not as powerful as a system. You have to be able to get the system to move the way that you want it to move.
Yeah.
So when you talk about being a moral person, again, and I'm gonna say it again, how do you expect police officers to be moral into a immoral community and system?
But JT, yeah, it's a system.
And be effective.
It's a system, right? But America is a system. We're living in a systematic society. Right now, as we speak.
But you have small systems within that system, though.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if they run into a situation where it's their job or doing the right thing, well, lose your damn job. Shit. I'm just saying, like, we got to stop living in fear.
Well, dog, let me tell you this. Every 2 years, you got the opportunity to change that system.
Exactly.
But y'all asses don't want to go out there and do shit.
You don't want to vote?
Keep going to the booth until it's the 4th year, and when you're voting for a president.
People fail to realize that those local elections matter. Those individuals, they gain ground, they grow clout, they place themselves in those seats because of those local elections. They matter.
2 years, you get the opportunity to make some changes.
Because it's those local elections. It's those local elections that affect you directly. That's what you're going to feel every day. Not this presidential election bullshit.
Right.
These issues we talking about with mental health, the police, every 2 years you get that opportunity.
And the thing with mental health, I can take.
One second, Mandrell. We got a little podcast in the house tonight. Mandrell, I'm going to let you cook. We got a little podcast in the house tonight.
What up, Black Man?
All right. Go ahead, Mandrell.
Yeah, the thing is with mental health, man. If people find out you're seeking mental health or you're getting treated for mental health, you become a pariah. No one wants anything to do with you.
You can't even get a job.
You can't even get a job.
That's facts.
And that's why people don't say nothing.
No one will hire you. I mean, they finally
you think that's why people don't speak up, responding to what he said?
Who's going to? Who's going to speak up? Who's going to let you know when people say,
but then at the same time, how's your employer knowing your medical records? Answer that question.
Because of the HIPAA law?
It's literally on the job application.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is actually.
It's
I'm
not.
a human resource. I'm a
You're
human
right.
resource manager. Ain't not one
Okay.
application gonna
No,
ever
it's not.
ask you your mental health. It's
Well,
gonna
here's
ask
the
you your
thing.
criminal background.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
It's
In some states, it ain't even legal to ask that question.
some
no
way.
more.
Here's the, some way somehow they find out. I don't know how. Maybe they have to hire private investigators
talk
or
too much.
whatever. I don't know.
You
But-
talk to, there you go. Queen Smiley
Yeah.
just said it.
Yeah.
You talk too
You
much.
talk too much. Y'all go to work thinking y'all got friends in the workplace,
And you don't.
and
you
ain't
don't.
not a one
don't.
damn
And you
friend
don't.
up in there.
And you know what?
here's
You know
the
what, Queen Smile? I go when I walk in that bank every day.
That water
they
cooler
walk-
talk.
Yep, they walked in.
Girl, let
they
me
walked
tell
in,
you.
They know how many people
My
got the
sanity
jab.
didn't
They
work
know
do
how many
nothing for
people
me
have
last
not got
night.
the jab, and it's not on the application or nothing. I'm like, how the hell these people know this shit?
And
bro?
I
Well, the
work
thing is-
records, so I know I can't give
Like, I
anybody
don't even
nothing when it comes down to
understand
that.
how they know it. They're going around. Oh, you pay.
Well,
Listen,
here's the thing. Here's what happens. Like they find out you're a combat veteran, right? Instantly. You go to the VA, right? Yeah, you say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna need some time off for these dates at this time. I gotta go to the VA, or I gotta go to the doctor." Or
Guess what?
You know what I'm saying?
You don't owe your supervisor, your manager, nobody in that office that information.
Just
So,
tell me
yeah,
your
You don't
time
have
off.
to disclose none of that.
right?
You
And a
put
lot
your
of
FMLA paperwork in. If it's a reoccurring issue, you put your FMLA paperwork in. Your doctor sign off on it. Your doctor do not give any
Anytime
information
you need
on
to get
those
off, you
documents.
get off.
That
Exactly.
doctor
You
just
don't
signed
lose
and
your
say,
job.
You gotta know
yes,
how to
I
move with
agree.
these people,
I
man.
want this person off these days, and I want this
Tell
person off
people
these
everything.
times.
And
Yes,
you
I
won't lose your
concur.
job.
That's
Yeah, but
it.
the thing is, what I'm saying is, that's a lot of people don't know that, and
People talk too much.
I'm
Period.
advocating for people with mental health,
So
and you're
hold on.
right. People
So,
do talk
Andrea,
too
hold on.
much.
So you saying
but-
that saying somebody's ignorance is somebody else's fault? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I know he ain't saying that.
I ain't saying that
Okay.
at all. But what I'm saying, no. But what I'm saying is, no.
Brother,
What
I'm
I'm saying
get
is,
in your
no.
ass.
No, what I'm saying is, hey, is that the stigma that comes with people who have mental health,
Hey,
you know
don't
what I'm
worry,
saying?
I'm not gay.
The stigma that comes with it, you know what I'm saying? Is that people don't either want to have anything to do with it, because a lot of people think they're okay and they don't need it, you know. But people who know they need it and they go,
That's
yeah,
denial.
man. If people find out they're in it, people walk away.
That's denial.
And-
Stop.
and
That's
just to
what
add-
I was talking about, though, Mandrell. Right then and there. That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about this mental health shit, but nobody wants to address it or deal with it
Yes.
because they
You
feel
know-
ashamed. Why do you feel ashamed? It is
Yeah.
what it is. I
Especially in
promise
the
you.
black community.
You look. I bet you look at your 10 employees. I bet you're gonna have 3 more of them probably got mental issues just like you.
Mhm.
And they
just-
look normal as hell.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I felt the
Some of the most high functioning people
I felt the shame
look
for
ordinary as
So-
hell.
I
Can
felt the shame about it.
Can I say something really quickly?
You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
yeah, go ahead, Lil Parker.
I don't want to argue, but there is definitely a question of disability on job applications.
No,
What type of
let me
disability?
correct that. This is where you're misunderstood. Okay. There's not a question about that's a voluntary self-ID form. You get to voluntarily disclose whether or not you have a disability. You get to voluntarily disclose whether or not you're a veteran. Same thing with selective services isn't voluntary. You have to be a certain age bracket to do it. But you can do
Over
race,
18.
ethnicity. Right.
Mhm.
It's like between 17 and 20 something. It's a weird
Yeah.
age. You have to be to fill that form out. But race, ethnicity, veteran status, disability, you get to voluntarily select whether or not you want to disclose that information. It is not mandatory. It has a yes, no, and I do not wish to answer.
Mhm.
And
Guess what you had the power to
wanna
do?
say- I want to say this too.
Can I finish?
Adding to what
Go for
JT
Okay, guess
adding
not.
to what JT asked me, it's not just the police department, right? It's in healthcare too. They got a good old boy system in healthcare.
It's money laundry. So the whole system
I was
itself
going to
is
bring that
money
up too,
laundry.
bro. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's-
But check this out.
I don't
When we
ran
had-
across some cricket doctors, cricket nurses, and they all roll together. But
Now listen.
there are some people that will go against the grain and say, "Man, I'm not finna be a part of this bullshit."
Why do
Yeah,
you
like
think-
even
why do you-
even Candid Ann said that, you know, she didn't go into a lot of details, but Candid Ann is a nurse, and I've talked to another nurse as well. They said that they've seen a lot of a lot of doctors neglect people that have passed away.
Yeah.
And the nurses tell them, don't go over there, go get this one. That, and they just let them just pass away, bro.
But do
Depending
you
on the
know why
insurance they
do
have.
the right thing, man.
But do you
For
know
real.
how they ended up having the ammo to get rid of all these mental facilities? Because of neglect, because of it was a great thing of neglect, so when they ended up, the people that was like, look, everything is community now. It used to be state funded, and then you had all these governors that were coming in and they were taking that away.
Right.
And then now they said, well, look, this has to be, instead of it being on a federal or state level, we're going to put it into a community level. And that's what happened, because they felt that they were losing a lot of money in these mental health facilities. So they wanted to reallocate that money. What did they do? It took them about 6-7 years in order for them to get the right evidence and paperwork together so they could say, you know what, it's not even needed. And they had all these different things. And if you look, it was hundreds of thousands of mental health facilities throughout the U.S. that got taken out, state facilities. And what did they do? Made a community base, and then they said, well, shit, the next thing we're going to do is let's just make the prisons the mental health thing.
And then
so
you know what
they'll
else
put you in
happened?
prison, and then they'll get some psychologist or some psychiatrist or somebody like that and put you in AA and all these different things. They put those things that's in the mental health facility, they ended up putting them in prison.
Right.
Which is, by the way, privatized.
Right. Exactly.
And to add on to that, you know what they did?
My statement now.
They got these. Let me say this little podcast. I'm gonna give it to you. To add on to what JT just said, what they've done is started these little mom and pop counseling centers. Okay, with ignorant ass, incompetent ass, fraudulent people that are employing their friends and their families to provide a service, and half of these people ain't got college degrees at all. Go ahead, little podcast.
So
tragic.
What I was just trying to clarify was that Mandrell had said that, when people acknowledge what they're going to, when they acknowledge their mental health issues, that it can impede employment, right? And the question that was posed was, well, how would they even know? And what I said was, because it's on the application. And then Hink and Queen said, no, it's not. And then when I came back and I said, well, it's literally on there and it says disability. It was like, oh, well, yeah, it's on there, but it's voluntarily. But the point is that the question is there and that people do not want to acknowledge it. That's the whole point, that I can have something going on with me and I can't even say it. I can't even put it on an application. Like, I dealt with that with having a background, with having felonies and domestics. Like, you sit there for 30 minutes staring at the screen. The question ain't going nowhere. You have a choice. You either answer it or you don't. And if you don't, you're probably not even going to get the call back. Just I can't even, like, people that's dealing with mental health issues, I deal with them, but it's like, it don't really mess with me on as far as jobs. It's never really been an issue with jobs. But I just can't even imagine what somebody that's really dealing with something like a schizophrenia or something like that, and you have to hide it in every aspect of your life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you can't acknowledge it at work. You can't acknowledge it in your home. You can't acknowledge it in school. I mean, that really has to be tough for these people. And I really want to just say I applaud this entire panel for even having this discussion, because I don't see even the discussion about mental health or even people embracing it this much, knowing who Hink is and the fact that he is this passionate about it. Like, thank you, bro. Like, thank you for even caring that much, straight up. Thank you, Queen, for even pointing out that it's a bunch of people out here with, makeshift therapy situations for people, and they just use them to make $1 off of them. You know what I'm saying? Because the mental health thing is definitely real. It's more of it than we want to acknowledge. It affects more people than we want to acknowledge. And I hope this video gets like 10,000, 100,000 views, like for real.
No doubt. I agree, bro.
Yeah, because I gotta tell you, the closest members of my family don't know how long I was in therapy. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what I talked about in it. They don't know how long I was in therapy. They don't know I still go from time to time. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. You just, bruh, if everybody else turns their back on you, you know what I'm saying, and think you're crazy, why would you want to run the risk of telling the people who are closest to you? Why would you even want to chance that?
Because
I was like that. I was like that when
yeah. Now, if they ask me, I will tell them.
But see, that's a problem. They have to ask you. No, you ought to be able to tell. If that's family,
it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy how family is built nowadays. Some family isn't safe anymore.
That's a fact.
My family is safe now. I mean, my mother.
But what I'm saying is, you need to question your family.
Let's keep in mind there's a difference between relatives and family.
Yeah, there you go.
Big difference.
That's what I'm saying.
Good point, Charles.
But at the same time, you know who you can tell and who you can't.
Yeah, right.
That's
true. Right.
I mean, it's hands down. You know, if I tell Aunt Thelma, everybody in the goddamn church gonna know.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I tell my uncle, I know he gonna hold that.
It's the same way with my. It's the same thing with me and my sister. Like if I tell my sister something, I ain't got to worry about it. Nobody's gonna know ever. Should take it to a grave.
I do want to shout out a little podcast for explaining that case, because I get what you're saying now. Just the appearance of the word itself brings so much anxiety that kind of stomps people in their tracks and they're not able to move forward. And that's facts. And like he just
people
said,
in the defeatist mindset that comes from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then I also wanted to point out too with what Mandrell is saying right now, right, about not being able to say something. That's very big for men, because there's an expectation for us to be strong and never weak, right? And mental illness is definitely, like, the term mental illness itself sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like it automatically screams weakness.
Give it another few years, they'll find a fluffy word for it.
Yeah.
Just like they find fluffy words for everything else.
I hope they do.
Well, we need to accept it as something real in our society and not demonize it, and that's why people and that's why people hate to acknowledge it, because it's demonized right off the bat. You know, I mean, and people listen. First of all, I'm dealing with the situation with my own daughter, right? And thank you, Queen Smiley, for being transparent with your situation, because I've been there. You know, my daughter is the one that I had to take to the 24-hour clinic. And essentially it happened. It was a situation to whereas we had her in college. It was her freshman year in college, and she got a hold of something. I don't know if it was a drink or some weed that was laced or what have you. But she was into it with her roommates, and I don't know why. Well, whatever. She went to college one way, and after that freshman year, she was a totally different person. And so we've had to deal with that. Real quick, I want to acknowledge the fact that a couple things with JT. He asked me about if I would ask my nephew to be a police officer, and I didn't get a chance to because people just jumped in. Right. First and foremost, I would probably say no on the strength that police officers don't make enough money for what they do. Personally, I believe I think the average income is $57,000. We all know that getting into someone's business can get you killed, and for $57,000 a year, that's hardly worth it to get into people's business day in and day out. I'm a no for that. There are easier and faster ways to make money.
But police officers should never be a job.
No, well,
it shouldn't be a job.
Well, so now, and I agree with you on that. Now, I mean, there's another question as to now what? I mean, we need the police. People are still calling the police, right? Here's the thing. You touched on something earlier that I thought was very profound, because I'm with you on this. We do a lot of complaining, but no one gives answers. We're not really talking solutions, right? And when Hink was talking earlier about, why is the grandmother calling the police? Or where was the child's father? Do you know we got so much cleaning up to do in our own goddamn community, right? I know so many people who are raised by their grandparents,
Yeah, a
Right.
lot.
Man, and I know, and we got absentee fathers or mothers who push the father away because she's look, we got so much cleaning up to do. If we know we have enemies outside of our community, why I don't understand why we finding time to find enemies within our community. You know, and so essentially that I don't know why this song comes to mind. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around. We got so much sweeping up to do around our own goddamn front door. And here's the thing: it's almost like we're looking for our enemy to protect us at times. And we all know that if we are at war, we're gonna. And when I say enemy, I'm not talking about white folks, right? I'm really not. Although they represent 58-60% of the population, we all know that a lot of them are evil people. We know this. But we all know from the 60s and the Freedom Riders and all the stories, there were white people who really genuinely had our back. So I don't want to categorize all white people. But what I am saying is there's a war between good and evil people, right? And if we know this, now I don't understand why we just can't. At some point, we're gonna have to get our shit together as a black community, a black family. Otherwise, we're gonna continue to lose the war. And the war can't be won with divisiveness. The war can't be won with squandering our finances, our resources, not being in the game economically, shit like that. That's why. Listen, this is a capitalistic country. I'll yield the floor after this. This is a capitalistic country, and it's alarming how much money black folks squander, and we know that money talks, right? And so economics plays a huge role in a large part of how we treat it for real. I mean, that's just my view on it. But now we do know that. Well, whatever. I'll use the floor after that because I continue to talk. But at the end of the day, economics plays a huge role in how we treat it, and how we treat each other plays a role in how we're treated by other people. So I'm saying we got to clean up around at home first. We got a lot of cleaning up to do.
I just want to shout out real quick.
Yeah.
Lou Optics in the chat just said, please take advantage of counseling and therapies covered by your insurances. I just want to shout that out real quick. So working in human resources, many of us who have state, federal jobs and things like that, they have employee plans and employee resource groups to where they provide a lot of free counseling, even financial counseling and things like that within your network. That's totally free. Take advantage of those things, especially mental health. So whether a member of my family is a part of my plan or not, they can always call a hotline. I can just pass that number out and individuals can call in just to be heard. Ain't got to be heard by me. So therefore you ain't got to worry about it being spread nowhere. But I offer that even to my children, just make a call. If you ever feel like you can't talk to me about something, you want to talk it through to see how you can present it, so you can be heard, do that. Just make a call. And they have free hotlines out there, all over, that's not even tied to networks. So take advantage of those resources.
Isn't it funny that you barely ever see them on these networks, these national networks where they give them? You don't ever see that, and people don't even know the benefits that they have. That's the craziest part. You have so many people in the community have benefits and don't even know that they have benefits.
And don't know the extent of them either.
And don't even know the extent of them.
Every month.
Yep.
So JT. And another benefit that you have is you get the 8 free sessions.
Yeah.
8 free sessions to make a decision. Is this individual right for me? Is this the right
candidate?
Yep.
I just found out about that recently.
Take advantage of it. But we're crying and complaining about certain things, but you're not taking advantage of the opportunity that you have.
We have to start with self. We have to start acknowledging our own issues, starting with self, start correcting our issues, and not just correcting our issues behind closed doors, but sharing. That's the work we need to be doing.
Yeah, sharing.
We can get up here and talk in these circles all day long, but we also have to share and be candid when we share that.
Now, I want to say this real quick, guys.
Can I, Black Man? Can I answer
go ahead.
this question about the police real quick?
No.
Like no man, no child I know would I ever suggest be a police officer.
So what do you expect the police? So how do you expect the police station to be? I mean the precincts to be then. If we don't ever tell the next generation that, in order for us to be able to change something, we have to change it from the inside out. And or we're just gonna just leave it the way it is? Or we're gonna just tell our folks that, listen, don't ever be a cop, because this is where it's going to. Don't ever be a police officer. Ever. We just gonna leave it where it's just gonna be in the hands of the so-called oppressor.
We need representation.
So my question would be this, JT. Are the police a problem today in 2022?
I think yes, the system is definitely corrupt, no doubt.
When was the very first Black police officer installed into a police force? You know, if you just had to guess.
I don't know. It probably was in like the 50s.
No, it was way earlier than that.
Probably way earlier than that. I think I said the 50s, but shit, I can look it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's back when the police service first started. Like, they had Black cops, but
I mean, let's go with the 50s. Let's say 1950 was the first time. It's now 2022, so that's what, 72 years? It's almost a century. Should it take that long for the people to get into the system and change it? Should it really take almost 75 years?
No, the first Black police officer was Samuel J. Battles, and that was in 1911. And he went from 1911 to 1941.
And in 1941, William B. Lindsay became the first known African American state trooper hired by the Illinois State Police.
Now, Lex over here lying to me. She told me it was 1960.
So we've been inside the police force for over 100 years, and yet you just said that there's still a problem with the police force. So,
bro, I can tell you what. Can I implement one issue that we have?
Let me
go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to know if we can make room for the fact that maybe that's not the answer, right? I think what the Black Panthers were doing in the 60s was the right answer. Let them have their police force. It's theirs. Let them have it.
I don't believe that it's the same way. I think that the game has changed, bro. This is what I have a problem with. We keep segregating ourselves and still at the same time implementing ourselves. How the hell can we segregate ourselves in a society that we're in? Only thing we're doing is stumping ourselves inside of this society. You got two things to do. You either fight and make your own system inside the system, or you leave the damn system alone. Go to another goddamn country. But at the end of the day, you can't just say, I'm going to choose what I want to be involved in and what I'm not going to be involved in. That's crazy.
Well, the thing is,
so what I'm saying is this.
My whole thing is this. We keep. Go ahead, bro.
I can talk. Okay, so what you just said was create a system inside the system. I think that's exactly what the Panthers did. They had their own system inside the system. We don't need you to protect us. The words on your car is protect and serve. Protect what? Property, and serve what? Citations. So we don't need your protection. We don't. We can protect our own people. That was the point.
Let me put this on to you, bro.
You talking about a different time where we was a community then, and so we looked out for one another. We're not a community anymore.
Right.
We haven't been a community since the late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So now that
even with the Panthers, bro.
Now we're not
a community. Wait a minute. Hold on, JT. Let him do this.
So Lip Podcast, do you think what Hink said earlier about every 2 years that we have an opportunity to make a difference?
No. Listen, the clinical definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. You can't tell me we've been doing something for 100 years and hasn't changed anything, and then expect me to still champion that idea. It hasn't worked.
I don't think we've been doing the same thing.
We haven't been doing it.
He's talking about the voting part, though.
I know, but here's the thing.
Voting, joining the police force.
Here's an issue here's several issues with what podcast is saying. What the Black Panthers did, that was an answer, but that has to be coupled with other things. You know what I'm saying? It can't be just be what the Black Panthers did. Like he said, we are no longer a community. Most of us are not going to acknowledge that as any real organization of authority at all. Most of us are not going to do that. We're too stubborn. We hit ourselves too much.
Wait a minute, Mandrell.
Now, also, hold up. The first black officer was in 1911, but they haven't. The problem with that, we can't call it a failed attempt yet because there haven't been enough of us in the police force. Then have it failed to come to that conclusion yet.
So
they just haven't been. We just haven't put enough of an effort into it. You know what I'm saying?
So can we do something real quick, Mandrell?
Yeah.
Can we address what Hink just said? Hink just said that there isn't a community, right?
Right.
So how does Black people joining the police force help us if there's no community?
By and large, it doesn't. But by and large, it doesn't because the black cops worse than the white ones, from my experience. From my experience, now I can't speak on anybody else's, but the black cops, fuck them niggas, and
agreed.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they worse than the white ones.
I got another answer.
It's supposed to curb the ass whoopings at least. To say nothing of the killings.
Yeah,
but
they the one whoop you.
Like, since you a brother, I ain't gonna whoop you. I was gonna whoop your ass, but
yeah, since you black,
I'm gonna go ahead and turn a blind eye to it.
It's supposed to curb the ass whoopings, but
you was 2 shades lighter, goddamn it.
Right.
I hate you, black motherfuckers. I hate Whoopi Goldberg gum.
I hate the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck.
Can I pose something out here, man? And I've been thinking about this for a while. Why is it that we keep thinking that there's going to be unity amongst Black people when we're dealing with the bullshit that we're dealing with amongst each other? Why isn't it that we got to a point where we say, I'm a fucking American and I'm gonna have a community no matter where the fuck I'm at, no matter who the fuck it is? Why do we keep looking? And this is what kills me. Black people in America and white people in America know nothing about each other. And we've been around each other for a long goddamn time.
That's not true.
This is the only country.
We know all.
What we know about white people?
A lot about them. They know shit about us.
They know way. Listen, they know way more about us than we. They know our history because they always. We don't even. Let me tell you something. We don't even legitimize the history that's been given to us until it's been okayed by a white dude. Every time a black person, you will see black people arguing left and right on goddamn YouTube about what the history was and what all this stuff was, and then you will have some white dude and be like, "Well, he was actually, true," and what he was saying. Then they come with all these different theses and theories, and then black people be like, "Okay, yeah, since the white man said it, now the shit is legitimized." We always have to deal with that shit.
Because the white people did the research.
Right. Here's why.
Because they did the research and we didn't. They know way more about us and they still don't know a lot about us.
Here's why I disagree. Here's why I disagree with you. Why I say we know all about them, but they know nothing about us. It's because you want a loan for your house, you gotta go see a white man. You want a car loan, you gotta go see a white man. You want a job, you gotta go see a white man. Join the military, white man. Anything you want to do.
Yeah, like Hank said, no representation.
You have to learn how to mingle with white people.
No representation.
You wanna run for Congress, you gotta go through a white man. You know what I'm saying? You want to raise funds for a campaign, you gotta go through a white man. You have to go through so we have to learn them. We don't have a choice. We have to know about them. They ain't got to know shit about us.
I don't even I don't understand
that necessarily knowing them.
That's the way
that's
it is.
Knowing their system.
That's the way it is, baby.
There you go.
That's true.
That's my whole thing.
When you get to know them, you learn that they're trash.
And then you can infiltrate. Then you can make it your own. Then you can make it your own.
But it's called learning the rules of the game and know how to play.
Right.
Exactly. You got to learn the system to break the system. You can't defeat a game. You can't defeat a game system if you don't learn how to play.
And let me ask you guys this before we, because I'm gonna get everybody's final thoughts in a minute. But I'm gonna ask you guys this: what kind of generational wealth would Black people have if Tulsa wouldn't have happened? If the destruction wouldn't have happened, like if
same we got right now.
If that movie theater would have been passed down 5 generations, those clothing stores passed down 5 generations, those shoe stores, all those businesses that they had were passed down from family to family. Do you think they would be in the same situation right now?
Yeah, Same situation now.
It was just
Same
been a
thing.
few more bougie people.
Because you
walking
had
around
to have
than
more.
everybody
You had to
else.
have more than just the Gap that was doing it. It was supposed that they were just being people that wanted to have their own shit. They wasn't trying to get no damn accolades or nothing. It was like, shit, let's go over here.
Yep.
Let's get our own land. Let's get our own stores and banks and all this shit. They wasn't doing nothing. They was just doing American shit. So what they were doing was they were trying to expand. That's all it was. They were just trying to expand. So when you look at it in that sense, man, it is not like it's hard to do that same shit. They were stores. It was just a bunch of fucking stores and banks.
Yeah.
Well,
how in the hell it
was
it still have been the same thing.
It was a
thriving community. That's why they burned it down.
And here's the thing,
Man, the average person didn't even know nothing about black. Let's be real. The average black person didn't know shit about goddamn Tulsa, Oklahoma until about 2010.
But you know the blessing that we have now, we can do it now and we won't support it.
There were other
we will not support it. In 2022, we could do that same thing that they did in Tulsa, and we will not support it. I mean, look, let me tell us, we can't stick together for shit. Y'all remember we supposed to band together and boycott the damn NFL because Kaepernick was not able to play the game? Man, how many weeks
that shit lasted a weekend.
How many weeks did y'all go without watching the NFL? I'm not gonna lie.
They didn't.
I didn't miss a goddamn game.
Every Sunday, I was there.
That was too easy.
I told you
every Sunday, Thursday, and Saturday.
I'm not missing a game.
You know, I mean, first and foremost, we can't even acknowledge that we're a community. You know, and here's the thing: I've heard it said tonight. I've heard it said tonight, and I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, but when I hear black people say that we don't have a community, it kind of sounds like self-hatred to me, because by definition, it says a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common, or a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. So you mean to tell me? I'm saying a community. A community. No.
So now that you have
now look up the word ghetto. Now look up the word ghetto.
Wait.
But at the end of the day,
this is what a lot of people trying to acknowledge.
It doesn't matter where we come from. At the end of the day, if you walk into a room full of white people and you see that one other black person, you look at each other. You got a little walk up. Come on, you tell me you're gonna feel a feeling of kinship at all?
That's just kinship, brother. Okay, but it's not. What is community?
I'm saying
it depends on who he is.
You have something, in common. What do you have in common? That skin color, because you know the black experience.
I don't think it's skin color.
At the end of the day, no matter where you are on the economic hierarchy, right? No matter where you are, and when you walk into a room and you see that other black person, you telling me I have nothing in kinship with that person. I feel nothing. I feel no. I feel nothing.
Look, I can honestly say I've tried that. I've tried that and was shot down. I work at an institution.
The same person you're talking about, you sit there and have more in common with that white man next to you than you do that black dude.
Yes. I've been in the military. I had way more in common with non-black people than I had with black people.
Therein lies the beginning of the problem. With the JG
get him, Charles. Get him.
How do we expect to get together, right? When we can't even look at each other in an eye with an eye of kinship. I have nothing in common.
I can tell you how, bro. I can tell you how.
Some of us need to stop acting like we've arrived.
Right. Hold on. Wait. We're the only community, bro, that have music celebrating the demise of a black man. We're the only people that have music that celebrates the fucked up shit that we talk about with women. What are you talking about?
What did I say earlier?
We celebrate the killing of another black man, and that's #1 on the billboards. What are you talking about?
What did I tell you earlier? Did I say we are the people?
Do you leave your whole family because a few of your relatives are acting up?
We are living trash.
Do you leave your whole family because half your relatives acting up? I'm saying that.
Hell, I would leave my
Sometimes
whole family.
Half your relatives. I'm saying
I left everybody in Louisiana like it wasn't shit.
Everyone,
let me tell you something.
Everyone was acting up.
Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Come my way.
Let me tell you something, bro. I left. I did leave at 18. I couldn't stand Detroit. I hated it. I was at 16 riding the bus. Every time I used to go, and catching a bus in the cold, going to school and shit like that. I'm looking around this fucked up ass city like, man, Where would I want to work? I'm looking at these old fucked up ass neighborhoods. Where would I want to live here? I'm looking at all this goddamn littering and all this goddamn shit. This is at 16.
And so here,
I could not
Decaying.
wait. I could not wait. Listen, I could not wait to get my ass out of there because I couldn't see. I'm sorry. I couldn't see a way out if I wasn't reading, if I wasn't trying to graduate with the best grades I could in high school, if I wasn't into playing sports, if I wasn't doing VOTEC and all these different things. The people that were surrounding me, the motherfuckers, they were smoking weed. They was out there, they were skipping school. Man, I probably skipped school 5 times in my whole goddamn as a kid because I seen something better. I could have been just like the rest of them dudes. I could have been just like the rest of them. Everybody that was around, even my family, I had to get away from my goddamn family. When I left and I came back, guess what they was doing? Going in and out of jail, selling drugs. Then I got motherfuckers, family members getting murdered over stupid ass shit. And then they look at me. I went 3 times to fucking war. Motherfuckers sit there and looked at me and said, where you been? Why you ain't never called me? Motherfucker, I was at war. Why you didn't call me? Why didn't you send me a goddamn package? Why didn't you go out there and write me a fucking letter? What we talking about, bro? There's no damn communion with us. That's what a community is. Commune.
I'm gonna say.
And when you ain't got that, and you in this big ass country, and you want to keep yourself docile down with people that just look like you, what are we talking about, bro?
JT, I said it earlier. We're the only people who promote trash, bullshit, encouragement. We'll put a white flag out. We'll take your sick, your main, your wounded. We'll take all that bullshit in the black community. I bet you them other communities, man, they turn their back on that bullshit. We don't want.
They push them to us. They push them motherfuckers to us.
Man.
They push all that bullshit and all that trash in their community. They push it out to us.
We are the most forgiving group of people.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's that bullshit.
Yes. So now,
to
kind of piggyback off your comment, JT. You said that you seen better, correct? Now, why can't you be that person that somebody sees? A lot of times, here's what happens.
I got 2 daughters, dog. They see me. I got a nephew. I got cousins. They see me.
We have to. We okay. Well, I feel a responsibility to expand my reach beyond my blood family. But that's fine. That's fine if nobody else does. I'm cool with that. But I've changed lives by my very works because I'm not afraid to go back in the hood. Because here's the thing: to talk about Black Man Unfiltered. Black Man made a question earlier when he said, "Do you think we'd be in the same shape if the destruction of Tulsa, Oklahoma, did not happen?" I would think we would not be, because a lot of people need to see examples in order for them to strive to something, right? And so if that was still and history tells that that wasn't the only thriving community that got destroyed. There were other communities that Black folks were very well in, right? And so that got and that's just that just made like the history books. It made a lot of noise in the history books, but we were thriving all over the country. But what happened was the white power structure destroyed those communities. Now, had they not happened, Black boys would have and Black girls would have seen examples of what a thriving community looks like. So I don't think we would have been in the same shape, because we would have examples. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, a lot of us, we get a little money, we get a little status, we get a little, and we could finally move into the white man's neighborhood with the big house and the pool. Because I done that shit. And Sir Hill will tell you, his brother tell you, I had the big house, the pool, in the white neighborhood. I made it. I felt, but I never forgot where I came from. I could always go back in the hood and mentor them young boys and them young girls, because Black youth need to see what success looks like.
That's right.
And they need to know that somebody that talked that same shit that I talk made it out of here and can do it.
But why do we have to segregate ourselves, bro? All I'm saying is this is my thing. We in America. Why do we have to listen? A lot of it didn't take a Black person for me to see something better. It was a non-Black person. It was Black people, non-Black people. What you doing, you're supposed to do it. That's your walk that you do. I ain't shitting on that. But it is not. That should not be the only way. That's all I'm saying.
But
we should be able
So
to work
I got a question,
on
JT.
all different levels.
Let's
bro.
be realistic though.
But we are all on one.
But let's be
Lil.
realistic though. When we talk about politics, we talk about lobbying. Nobody's going to lobby for us but us.
Right.
Like we can't we're not going to expect.
Man, it's only because we have not. This is the thing. We have not exhausted it.
What
we would sit back just like the Tulsa, Oklahoma thing. When was the last time somebody said, "Let's do it all over again"?
It is some people doing it
because every time you say
Mandrell,
that, they would say
Mandrell.
they're just gonna blow it all up.
Yeah,
again.
no. It's a little town. It's a town in Mandrell did a show on it, the entire show on it, and you have to go back and watch it. There's a town in Arkansas that has redone everything like Tulsa. Black bank, black stores, black chief of police, black fire station, black shoe stores, the entire fucking town.
I would
Now watch this though, black man. Watch this. Watch this. It took a Mandrell. Right?
Yeah.
Mandrell, just like it'll take me or take
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
He did his research on it.
Mhm.
We got that there. How many people are trying to do that? It's a little town in Arkansas. Why haven't it expanded to Alabama? Why haven't it expanded to Mississippi? Why haven't it expanded to Tennessee, Louisiana, all the way up until you get all the way over to the West Coast? Why
Because
haven't
the rest
it
of the
done
people
it?
are thinking
It's
like
because
you.
we would sit.
All right.
No,
it's because the rest of the people are thinking like you. They have the mindset. The rest. Hold on for 1 second. Please.
Go ahead,
the
bro.
rest of the people have that. The rest of the people have the same mentality as you. And why do we have to segregate ourselves? It's okay. In Chicago, guess what? It's a whole area where it's Puerto Ricans like a motherfucker. It's a whole area where it's Asian town. We had Jew town, Little Italy. Everybody got their sections. Even the gays got their section, bro.
That's
why
right. I'm right. Hey, I'm 4 hours away from you,
like
brother.
that?
We got the same thing over here in Detroit.
Why is it so
But
wrong
what are you telling
for
me?
black people to have their own joints, bro? Like,
and another
this is
thing,
what I'm saying.
No,
Hold
listen
on,
what
y'all.
I'm saying,
Cannot
bro.
ever,
Guess what they still got to do? Little podcast. But
Finish
listen,
saying what I'm
listen.
saying, bro.
They
is
still,
is
but
that
they
possible?
still.
Nope, guess not. Okay.
Listen,
A little
they
podcast
still,
tonight. Hey, yeah, I'm proud of you, brother.
Really because I'm in blow up mode, so that's why I'm just trying to be quiet because this ain't my panel, so I can't blow up. So, like, it's kind of ridiculous. When he
You got it, bro.
It's gonna be 30 minutes of silence.
I just wanted to speak to your point, bro. That's it. I just wanted to speak to your point.
What I got to do?
I got to grow me a motherfucking beard. This shit is
What
crazy.
I got to do with this podcast?
God damn, man.
What I got to do with that?
Oh fuck! Oh,
the podcast. What I got to do with that shit?
Man, you the man, Hank. You the man. No, listen. What I'm saying is this, brother. It's just like what I was saying earlier with the Panthers, bro. Like they had a great idea. This is what we was talking about. One thing, right? Which was the policing. They policed their own neighborhoods, but they still accepted money from the government to feed the kids. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they just boxed themselves in to say it's black and black only. We ain't doing nothing if it ain't black. They understood that they were in a deficit. These people that we have to protect ourselves at the same time, we have to be able to use their resources because they control them, right? So two things can be true at the same time. So this is why I said my son would never be a police officer. Literally, like it won't happen. My brothers, my cousins, my little nephews, not letting it happen. We'll find another route, bro, because that's they joint. Like to me, you can't. Now this right here. What I'm about to say is opinion. To me, you can't even be a cop without being a fucking oppressor. Like it's literally in the description. This is what you do. You ride around and harass people. That's what you do. You ride around in the neighborhood and you give people anxiety. I have very good driver's license, very good insurance on my car, and I still get nervous when the police get behind me. I still don't want to get pulled over. I still just be worried because here's the thing: I have a mouth. So when they pull me over and I know I ain't did nothing, I'm going off. I did that when I had warrants and no driver's license, no insurance. I still ran my mouth like as if I had good license and insurance. So what all I'm saying is by default, your job is to harass people. When they put those lights up in the city, And they put those lights on top of the cars, those blue and red and white flashing lights. And this shit is just constantly all the time for no reason. They just drive down streets really fast and turn their lights on. Not going nowhere to stop no crime, just doing it. That shit is ignorant, bro. I don't fuck with police officers. None of them. And that's not to say that I've had all bad experiences with them. But at the end of the day, guess what? It's literally your job is to harass people. That's all you do. So we can police our own neighborhoods. We can protect our own neighborhoods if we raise a better crop of adults. If we raise more healthier men, more mentally healthier men, more emotionally stable men, more psychologically developed men, right? More career oriented. And by career, I don't mean the white man's fucking colleges. I mean like they have vocational skills. They can build, bro. Me and Mandrell talked about this. I don't know how to do nothing with my hands. I can't paint. I can't fix a car. I can't do carpeting, construction. Nobody ever taught me how to do nothing as a kid. I learned how to sell drugs. That's what I learned how to do. All right. Now I do have a talent for music, right? I do have that, but it didn't generate me wealth, so nobody cares about that, right? But I'm just saying that we have to allow, you know what I'm saying, some of the ideas that we had back in the day in now. They were good ideas. Protect your own community. We know they were good because as soon as the Black Panthers, when they got guns, they changed the laws. So yes, protect your own community. I think we can do that. Then I think it's okay for us to have our own community where it's 84% or better. Like where I was living at in Matson, Illinois, it's 84% Black, but it's mostly older folk. They own all the houses and shit out there. So it's not crime rate, right? But we can do that. It's okay for us to have blackity black. I'm tired of like these people made a certain level of success and now everything has to be kumbaya when everybody else is practicing group economics. They fuck your vote. Practice group economics. Get together and put something together and build something. All us niggas got that money last year with all of them unemployments and all of them loans and all of that stuff, bro. And none of us did nothing with it. Soon as I got the bag, I was calling every nigga I knew and nobody wanted to do nothing. And then I fell right into the trap. Jordan, hotel rooms, jacuzzi tubs, 20 white V-neck t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? I blew the bag like everybody else.
Yep.
Let me say this.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna get all right. So thank you so much for Lil Podcast for being here, man. Give it up for my guy Podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe and like over this channel, man. He doing some good work over there. I had a great conversation over there with them today. That kind of went south, but we brought it back a little bit. But thank you, Lil Podcast, for being here, man.
You did that today, bro. Like that was a lesson in how it should be done, I think.
Hey man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And so the next person we're gonna have come up for their thoughts before we get out of here is gonna be Queen Smiley. Queen Smiley. So the podcast, you stay in the back. Queen Smiley. What are your final thoughts, sweetheart?
My final thoughts: mental health is real. It's real, and it will only get better if we address our personal issues. And I say we because we all have them, right? Everybody got something that they need to address, no matter how big, how small. We need to take ownership of, y'all heard me say it 1,001 times, know yourself before you move forward in anything in life. But take ownership of that something and get help. And then not only just get the help, but also share so it can become a norm and not a negative stigma. If anybody truly ever need an ear, I'm here. Hit me on Instagram, Queen Smiley _rules. I'm that on Twitter as well. Facebook is just plain old Sylvia Smiley. If you truly need me, get at me, y'all. Peace and blessings to everybody.
All right, thank you so much, Queen Smiley, for being here tonight. You'll see Queen Smiley. Queen Smiley, you'll be here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I might be a little late. Football practice. Y'all start too early on Tuesdays for me.
Yeah, 6 to 8. I got football practice tomorrow, 6 to 8. All right. Well, Queen Smiley, we'll see you tomorrow late, but she'll be here. All right. Thank you for being here tonight, sweetheart. Appreciate you. All right, Mandrell, what you got for us, man? Final thoughts.
Black people, protect yourself at all times. Never trust a cop. And I know that not all police officers are bad people or bad police officers, but there's quite simply not enough good ones to garner any trust from them. They are unworthy of our trust. They have to now prove that they're trustworthy. And it's been like that for decades, but no one really holds them to task. The time to do that is now. Because if we don't now, when are we ever going to do it? So that's my thing. Do not trust the police at all, ever. Always stay on your P's and motherfucking Q's. Do your best to stay out of trouble. And again, protect yourself at all times.
All right, thank you, Mandrell. Man, Mandrell will be on tomorrow night with me for sure. That's my guy. And on Wednesday night at 8:30 Central Standard Time, Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu as well. Give it up for Mandrell. All right, now we got Freezy in the building. Freezy, what's going on, man?
Black man, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on again.
Absolutely, my brother.
JT asked a question about I don't want to make it seem like I'm quoting him directly, but he brought up a good point about, what race knows each other the most. Is it more important for us to learn white people? And because his opinion is he thinks that white people know us. But I want to subscribe to everybody on the panel and everybody listening that I don't even think black people know, we even know ourselves. In in this day and time, we've lost our identity a long time ago. We've lost our culture a long time ago, especially in 1619 at the beginning of the Atlantic slave trade. And it's caused, and to me, that is one of the biggest reasons why we suffer mental health. We don't have any peace or sanity because we're so lost on the inside. We're trying to adopt so many ideologies. And I understand what JT is saying. We have to live and survive with other races. And other races, everybody of other races isn't bad. But I do think, that there needs to be some type of cultivation of our own race and culture and identity. We're so messed up mentally and emotionally. I've heard people in these spaces say that the Atlantic slave trade never really happened. This is how bad off we are. So my answer is I think we should just start studying our own history, going back into our own culture, understanding who we were as a people. Because right now, I don't know what to say. But thanks again, Black man. Love all y'all, man.
All right, love you too, brother. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you in a little bit in the back. All right, JT in the building tonight. Give it up. What's your final thoughts, my guy?
Yeah. No, I cleared up what old boy was trying to say. I was just saying that in America, we black folks and white folks been around each other for a very long time, and we still know nothing about each other. We just assume a lot of shit. That's all I was just saying. However, when it comes down to it, man, we do have to hit it on every angle, whether it's race, whether it's economics, whether it's whatever the hell. But it all starts with who? Woman and man. You have to be able to build some form of a family in order to build any other type of community. If you ain't got that in your up under your household, then how do you expect to be able to build something in your neighborhood? And that's all I got to say about that, bro. Oh, let me tell everybody. Follow me on What We Know podcast with me and my boy Rob on Saturdays 9:30 p.m. Hey man, we have a ball over there, man. Come and join
Absolutely.
us.
And you'll be here tomorrow night, right?
You know it.
Absolutely, man. All right, man. So we'll definitely now tomorrow, guys. It's the name of the show is called. Have you seen it already? The name of the show tomorrow. Have you seen the thumbnail?
No, I haven't.
The name of the show tomorrow is Nails, Lashes, and Weave. Accept me and marry me, please.
My favorite subject.
So,
boy, I'm coming. I'm about to load my goddamn gun tonight.
And it says right here. But let me finish it though, because I didn't finish it as an entirety, because I know my boy Hink didn't seen it. But it says Nails, Lashes, and Weave. Accept me and marry me, please. Hink started this conversation. That's the subject for tomorrow. So
shit.
Hey man, he went to hell in the other day about it on Security Boss, and when I tell you he preached a sermon for the ages, Doc, man, they should have had the collection plate when he finished, brother.
Oh man, you got to cut that part out.
I am. I'm gonna have it ready for the show tomorrow for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate you, JT, man. I'll see you in the back in a little bit, brother.
Absolutely. All right, brother.
All right, man. We got Charles, Sir Charles in the building. Give us your final thoughts, my guy.
First and foremost, Black Man, thank you for having me on once again this evening. I appreciate it. Thanks to the other panelists. I feel like we had a great discussion that was civilized. None of us got beside ourselves, even though we had some disagreements on certain levels. And that's what these conversations should be like. So I appreciate that. Thank you to the chat. Now, when we talk about mental health, I want to keep in mind that our environments can either exacerbate or alleviate our mental health, and that's why I put so much emphasis on cleaning up our own home. On a micro level, if you think about just cleaning up our own families, if everyone took on that responsibility, and then that trickles on over to building a stronger community, then we can have a stronger voice in this country. But it has to start at home. Everything starts at home. And essentially, I think about a lot of the hood stuff that goes on, lack of food, lack of cleanliness, and these things, lack of parental involvement. These things exacerbate the mental health. A lot of our children are raising themselves from the time they're toddlers, raising themselves. Anyhow, that's another story. When I seen this girl walking down the street on 79th Street at like 5 o'clock in the morning, dude. But nevertheless, the other issue is the good cop. I know that sparked a lot of that piqued a lot of interest right there when I talked about there's no such thing as a good cop.
Right.
Essentially, what I am saying is the person may be a good person, but as soon as they don the badge, I would have to question how they can go to that job every day knowing that there's corruption going on, and they have to either participate or turn a blind eye. So you got to ask yourself, what are you good when you turn a blind eye? Nah, that there's a question. And so as far as the Black community goes, I feel a kinship with those who share a skin tone such as myself, because I know what the Black experience is like in America. Now, I do have a motto: be good to good people. I don't fuck with all Black people, and I don't fuck with all, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all I don't want nothing to do with, but there are some good Black people out here, and there are people who youth out here who are knuckleheads right now, like me. I was a knucklehead at some point where people poured into me and seeing that I had potential and caused me to want to strive for better. So I'll leave it with that. I'll yield the floor. Thank y'all. Mindfully Misunderstood. Please subscribe, like, comment on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate you, man. All right, last but definitely not least, man, we got Hink in the building tonight. Hink, man, listen, he started a great conversation last week, and the show tomorrow is based on actual events by the bishop himself. Bishop Hinkalink is in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hink, go ahead and give us your final thoughts on the show tonight, my guy.
Man, Black men, protect yourself at all times. Do what you have to do. That means you need to get on somebody's couch because you need therapy. Don't let that be a stop. Don't let that be an issue. Go out there and get your blood work. Go out there and get your colonoscopies. Get your prostate checks.
Wow.
Get your health together. Because in order to be on this world to make these changes we all want and talk about, you got to be around. That means you got to go in there and make them doctor visits and Don't let your pride get in the way when you can't.
All right, Hank, you'll be here tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be a little late, but I'm gonna be here for you, big brother. You know how that go.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate you, man. Hey, listen, shout out to Hank, man. Great father, man. Son is a great basketball player, working on that scholarship right now, man. So we praying real hard that he gets the scholarship that he wants, and he gets every part of the money that he wants when he gets in college. So, and man, shout out to you and your family, brother. You know I love you, man. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my final thought for the show is great. Thank the panelists for being here. They were great. I also want to thank the chat for being here tonight. You guys are still undefeated. I really appreciate you. Thank the moderators who came in and moderated for me. Big Bad Bull, Lady Navoa. Give it up for Jenny. Give it up for Von Bryant. And who else was in here? I think I had another moderator in here. Also, I want to thank the people that have joined the Black Man Unfiltered Network family. Thank you so much for joining as well. Also, I want to give a shout out to Charles Cook for the $4.99 super chat. He said, be good to good people. I really, really, really appreciate you for that super chat, Charles. Let's see. And for that, Charles, we will end the show because normally I do a clip, but this conversation was so real, I didn't have a time to do a clip today. But you know, we cannot have one show without my artist that I just signed to Good Enough Records. He has a new song I call the Mandrell Two-Step. Let me go ahead and play that before we get out of here. Mandrell, step to the floor, please. All right. So listen, guys, thank you again for being here. Tomorrow night, come on now. Tomorrow night, I need you guys to come on back. Go ahead right now. The thumbnail is already there. It's already on my channel. Go to the channel, hit that notification button. Go ahead and hit the like button when you get over there as well, because tomorrow night it's going down. See, here at Black Man Unfiltered, we talk about everything. All right. Last week during the barbershop, we talked about return to the ass whooping. Do kids need ass whoopings? And we had different perspectives. Then we turn around and did the truth about monkeypox. Mandrell did a wonderful job. Him and Shushu. We also last Tuesday talked about homosexuality and the Black culture. Are men being targeted to be emasculated? That was an absolutely great conversation. If you guys haven't seen any of this, please go see it. We also had a show called What is a High Value Man? That show really, really got out of hand. We had a guy on the show that was just a simptation. And so, guys, you definitely got to go watch that one. He brought the simp to a whole nother level. But guys, please go watch it. And I also put up another video of Mandrell and his sister Shushu when they were actually in a serious moment on the show. And I played a clip and they broke character very, very quickly. So guys, please go and enjoy that video as well. All right. So guys, thank you for being here. If you want to donate to the channel, you know what you got to do. You can go ahead and go to the Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now. Also, you can definitely go over and give a super chat. You can do that as well. And if you can't do any one of those, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and share with 5 people and have them like and subscribe as well. You guys have been amazing as usual. And I always will say, do something nice for someone. If you can't find anybody else to do anything nice for, do something nice for yourself. Because we talked about mental health tonight. Self-care is the best care. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. You guys, please have a wonderful rest of the night. And we definitely will see you at 8:30 Central Standard Time tomorrow. All right, get your asses off the couch right now and dance for a minute and a half while we go out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Peace.